My name is Alessandro, and I'm the founder of Guided Light Healing, and I want to welcome you to episode 2 of our Breaking Barriers mini-series. Now, last week, we talked about an incredible concept and idea that I know personally a lot of you out there connected with, and it was essentially the idea that our lives become turbulent. Our lives start to have a lot of influence from the universe when we start to emotionally get off our place of center, off our place of balance, off our place of being happy. This week, I want to talk about how the universe steps up and essentially why they step up in this way. So a lot of you are wondering out there, and I've seen this question a lot, and I've probably had this question more than anyone else out there, is why doesn't the universe step up with hey, we love you. Why don't you try doing this? This is great. This is going to help your life and all those things, right? How many of you out there wish that the universe would do that for us? Good. Here's the thing I want to tell you. They actually do. They do all the time. We tend to miss it. We tend not to see the more subtle, the loving, follow me, come this way. You're going to be much happier, more balanced this way. What happens is we as human beings tend to become pretty complacent at times. And I can speak from experience that if there aren't really any challenges in my life, I sort of start to slow down a little bit. I push less for new information. I push less to grow, to become better, to push my physical body if there's not really anything on the outside motivating. I can say this with a lot of my clients and students over the years, that this is the case, and that most human beings, unless we're challenged, unless we're pushed, we tend to get complacent, we tend to get stuck a bit. So this is why the universe sort of steps in the ways they do step in these very loving ways. We can always find this support, whether it's coming from ourselves or other people, but it tends to be what we miss and what we tend to ignore. So how does typically the universe step into our lives? Well, one of the things they do is they step up with obstacles. And I know you're out there thinking already, well, this is a terrible way for them to step up, but it's actually not. Obstacles, we have this huge feeling that they're awful and they're terrible and they're going to cause problems in our life. But what I want to tell you is it's nothing more than a perception. Everything out there is going to be put through the filter system of how we were raised, what our memories are, and where some people may look at one situation as a bad situation, other people, them, will look at a situation as an eye-opening, as an empowering, is an opportunity for new tools. And that's sort of why the universe will step in. When we get back to this place that we talked about in our last episode of being emotionally out of balance, of being emotionally not happy, or subconsciously tearing ourselves down, working against us and messing with the frequency and vibration coming out of our body, this is where the universe steps in. So I want you to think of the universe as one of the most remarkable, loving coaches in the world that we have. And when they are stepping in, they're stepping in with some incredible gifts. And if we just don't take it personally, and we start to go, wait a minute, you're right, I probably had missed the loving, the kind, the follow me impulses that they were putting out there, the hey, come with me type situations out there. And I probably did get a little stuck within myself. I stopped paying attention to what the universe is saying. And really the first thing outside of my body to really get my attention is definitely these obstacles. Every obstacle that comes in our path, there are two ways to look at it. There is a way of, this is going to ruin my life. This is going to slow me up. This is going to detour me off my path. That is just a perception. Or the way they look at it is they become a little bit complacent. They are definitely unhappy and they are unaware of their subconscious tearing them apart right now. There is nothing better in my experience in the world to get our attention than something that causes a little bit of pain, a little bit of discomfort, and a little bit of stress, because it tends to be this beautiful fire that gets lit under us that just propels us forward into a better life, into changing the things that are in the way of our happiness. So we are going to give them this event, this thing to shake it all up, to empower them, to inspire them to get new tools, better ways of understanding themselves and dealing with what they're dealing with. And when they get past this, they're going to be closer to being happy, closer to being balanced. They always hope for 100%, but we as human beings, we need a little more nudges, or again, probably just talking about myself here, but we need a little bit more nudges in the direction of what's truly going to make us happy. Every single obstacle that pops up in your life is one, going to be a perception, and that perception is either going to be negative or positive. What I want you to push to do this week is to look at it as a positive situation. I want you to ask yourself, how is my life going to grow? How is it going to change? How am I going to be more empowered? How am I going to be happier? If I understand what I did to create this situation, will it happen again? And if it is no longer going to happen again, will my life possibly be happier and more balanced? You bet it will be. And this is something I can tell you from experience. They want us to achieve our goals. They want us to achieve our soul pull. They want us to change lives. And most importantly, they want us to be in a place of centered, balanced, and happy. Start to get the subconscious in check. Allow it to stop creating the negative things in your life, to create the magnetisms for the things you don't want in your life. And let's start to clean up this signal and start to get what we want and to get on our soul path and to do the things that our souls came here to do. I want to thank you for joining me for this second episode. This series I am so excited about. I'm excited to see and to hear how this is going to change your guys' lives this week. My name is Alessandro. I'm the founder of Guided Light Healing. Thank you for joining me in this episode. I'll see you back soon for episode 3 of the Breaking Barriers mini series.